phone problem.
I was waiting, usually people watch it and they text me if anything's, awry,
My boss used to call me, and he'd be getting on me, and so I'd be in the car, and what I do is I roll the window and put the phone on. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay.
But this is waiting, so. Okay, you're good.
Ready? Pledge allegiance, please.
Oh, boy.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome all. We have President Kathy Devlin and Tim Patricus, Board of Selectmen, Chris Boucher, our new Director of Recreation Services and Senior Center, Kim LaFleur, our Operations Director, and Mike Marinacci, our Chief Financial Officer, and our guest, Jackie Nappa from the Journal-Inquirer. The first agenda is the staffing for the Social Services Director. So, Chris, basically we had an interviewing committee made up of you, Kathy Devlin, and Mike Marinaccio. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
You interviewed candidates, and your recommendation is?
We have a unanimous recommendation for a single candidate. Tremendous candidate, we think. Her name is Allison Maynard.
Okay. Allison Maynard is currently serving as the Social Services Director for the town of Vernon.
Correct.
She has a master's degree in social services, plus an extensive background and experience level and kind of things we were looking for. So,
She also is a resident of Summers.
and a resident of Summers, that's correct.
Even better.
So, we need a recommendation.
What am I
A
doing?
motion?
Motion to approve the recommendation provided by Chris Boucher.
And
Shake.
Tell me that's not saying anything.
That's your name, is
recommended by Chris Boucher, based upon the interviewing process with Mike Marinaccio and Kathy Devlin. Correct. Any discussion?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Just
Aye.
any,
Sorry.
I wasn't in the interview process, so anything you can share that would,
What are knowledge?
well, why this candidate over others? What are the things that are?
Truly, it was, there was a screening process going through a number of different resumes, but specifically, this person has so much of what we need, and it just fits in almost every category. And she certainly has a knowledge of a way of getting very engaged with people, and she's just does a lot around grants too. And she seems to be very creative in being able to get programs funded.
Great.
But she's also on top of almost every kind of category. In the city of Vernon, she's working with numerous types of needs around social work.
And
Whether it's
there's
a school or it's a senior center or whatever it is.
Yep.
I kind of like the idea that we could put her separate and have our other social worker with her, because I believe that there is such a gap in the town of Summers, and I think this person can identify the real needs and help us along with what can happen.
Great.
For the
Since
population.
Chris and Mike were also in the interviewing process, perhaps you'd like to comment also.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the strengths of Allison is that she's familiar with our community, that she had great ideas for within the first 30 days what she can do. She had a vision for within the first year what success looked like, what is the evolution of the social services department within 5 years, what does it look like. And I think that intimate knowledge of our infrastructure of what we're offering right now, paired with her educational experience, her professional experience both in the public and private sector, working in nonprofits, working in another municipality, a big municipality. She has that managerial administrative experience, but also that hands-on kind of boots on the ground, first-person engagement, social work experience as well, and case management. Another huge thing in addition, Kathy mentioned the grant writing, which I think took all of us back, and we were all really intrigued by her grant writing experience. But her outreach in various different sectors and her knowledge of resources available beyond just grant writing, community partners that we could potentially collaborate with. I think that there's a lot of vision that exists for potential evolution of our department because of her outreach capabilities and the resources that she has because of her professional experience in the field. So it's kind of a myriad of all of those professional advantages that I just think make her the ideal candidate.
So I echo everything that's been said. On my two biggest takeaways were, one, before the interview, by far and away out of the applicant pool, her resume and her skill set totally mirrored our right on our job description in so many ways. So she was the closest match. There wasn't anyone even close to her. So it would almost seem that we'd be wasting time talking to other people. Let's find out if this woman would be a fit here. My next biggest takeaway kind of mirrors what they said about the grant writing, but it's her philosophy of her approach of doing assessments need. What does the community need? What are the resources necessary? What are those resources going to cost us? How can I obtain alternative funding other than taxpayer dollars?
Yep.
I will search and find grants that will pay for this. Then, when I have all my information in hand, will I then seek that position or that resource from the selectmen? And I just kind of read, that's the way you're supposed to operate.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And
So,
I do want to make a few other comments also. I share what my colleagues have said also. I've had a chance to interact with Allison. She's a true leader. She's a true manager. She's caring and empathetic, which I think you need in this position. There's a real need in this town for the demographics support in terms of seniors, as well as some of the younger folks, and also some of the need in terms of aid and assistance. And I just see there's this tremendous opportunity for us to fill this void and to have her create this whole new position and respond to our needs in the community.
You were asking.
Yeah, you updated the job description when you took over this role, right?
Correct.
Any changes since that date that you think we need to evaluate as part of the job description? Because it sounds like she's a match, but is it any revelations since you got your feet on the ground in there that you'd say?
Not yet. I think ultimately, if any of those revelations do arise, it will be a result of the community assessment that Allison is planning to implement when she begins in the position to kind of see where the needs are, what are the resources we have, and what's the best path forward. So at this time, I would say no. Could potentially be in the pipeline, but I think that would be pending the results of the community outreach.
Cool. Fantastic.
Okay. Motion on the table.
All in favor?
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's great.
Any other issues or comments?
no.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Well, you're going to recess, I think. So.
I'll move to recess.
Yeah.
Okay. All in
Yeah.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
And what's the other item? It's correct?
Can we undo this now? Because we are not going to